as a friend, as a person, as a promoter, as everything. I mean, you know, you always, because I don't know. Sometimes I think that that's not him. You know, it's like, why? What's going on? Like, why are we beefing? Why are we? You know, it's like I don't understand. Maybe it's the nerves.
Golden Boy didn't abandon Ryan. When you win, you don't have too much to talk about, right? When you lose, you normally have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Golden Boy is always, and I've been 20-something years. Never.
The relationship between RyanGarcia and his promoter OscarDeLaHoya has always been complicated. While they've had a strong partnership for years, it seems like the bond is now breaking down. Recently, Garcia revealed that he plans to leave Golden Boy Promotions and start his own promotional company. This announcement isn't coming out of the blue. Many people have seen the growing tension between the two. In fact, this move feels a lot like what happened with Tank when he decided,
I want you to fight. I want you to be a legend. Do you think I wanted him to fight Tank Davis with a rehydration clause? Hell no. I'm looking at...
In a recent exchange between Ryan and Oscar, Ryan revealed that he felt like De La Hoya wasn't there for him during some of his toughest moments. Most notably, when Garcia was dealing with mental health struggles and personal drama. De La Hoya didn't offer the kind of support many thought he would. Instead, De La Hoya took to the media and publicly criticized Garcia, calling his behavior sickening. Garcia, who has been open about his struggles, found that hard to swallow. If De La Hoya really cared about him like he claimed, why? Wasn't he offering support behind the scenes instead of going to the press with harsh words for Garcia? That moment felt like a betrayal.
That he went through.
Are you guys going to get back on the same page together?
I'm always open to peace.
Yeah, I love that.
Business is business, but
Facts.
Friendship, peace, I'm always there for it. You know me, not the type of guy to hold grudges.
Well, that's why fans love you. You're always super classy, right?
Of course.
Thanks for...
Now, as Garcia prepares for his upcoming fight with Rolly Romero in May, things have taken an interesting turn. De La Hoya is suddenly all in, publicly backing Garcia and saying he's proud of him, but Garcia isn't buying it. To him, this support feels like a business move. De La Hoya knows the fight with Rolly is going to generate a lot of attention and money, and now he's acting like the proud promoter again. Garcia can't help but feel like De La Hoya is only interested in the financial side of things. After all, this is a big...
And they can do some damage. And RyanGarcia, look, he's coming off, it's going to be about a year now. He's hungry. He's hungry to get...
Garcia feels that if De La Hoya really cared about him as a person, he wouldn't have publicly criticized him so harshly in the past, especially not when Garcia was going through a tough time. One of the biggest examples of this was when De La Hoya went live on social media, saying that Garcia shouldn't fight Ampo, a lesser-known opponent. De La Hoya was worried about Garcia's readiness and even said the fight wasn't a good idea. That moment added fuel to the fire for Garcia, who saw it as another public jab at his career.
We're cool as heck. We text all the time. Shout out Oscar. He's cool.
I don't know where he's at because they don't let me talk to him.
What do you mean they don't let you talk to him?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of...
His manager?
Probably.
Okay.
Most likely.
You cannot pick up the phone and talk to him?
I can because I have his number, but he never...
So now, with the fight against Rolly Romero just around the corner, Garcia is left wondering why De La Hoya is suddenly so supportive. He sees it as a calculated move to keep Golden Boy in the picture, especially since this fight could be a huge moneymaker. Garcia believes De La Hoya's actions have always been more about business than any...
Supported him more. He felt like Oscar wasn't there for him. And, you know, that sort of began a feud again publicly between him and Oscar De La Hoya. It then had Oscar, you know, tweeting out, you know, that Ryan is crying, you know, and still complaining that he should be pointing the finger at his, you know, his advisor who advised him to go take the rehydration.
Hoya, however, stands by his actions. He says he's always been honest and that he didn't support Garcia when he was making poor decisions, like publicly insulting people or defying agreements. such as the situation with the AMPO exhibition fight. From De La Hoya's perspective, he was just calling it as he saw it. He wasn't going to blindly support Garcia if he felt the young fighter was making a mistake. But for Garcia, the explanation doesn't add up. If De La Hoya really cared, he wouldn't have gone so far as to bash him publicly. Instead, he
saw the press conference for the upcoming exhibition fight of RyanGarcia versus Ruquilla Ampo. It took place in LA on Tuesday, and I was not there because Ryan's team thought they could negotiate this entire deal behind my back. Huh? Everyone is aware I have the global rights to RyanGarcia.
The origin of this conflict can be traced back to the aftermath of Garcia's first professional loss to Tank in 2023. Garcia, who had been one of the most promising young stars in boxing, suffered a major setback in that fight. But what really stung wasn't just the loss. It was the lack of support he felt from De La Hoya and the Golden Boy team. After the defeat, Garcia claimed that when the dust settled, no one from Golden Boy was by his side.
No, I haven't spoken to him or whatsoever, but yeah, I don't know exactly what's happening with him and his team. You know, he has an advisor and he has other people talking and whispering in his ear. So I'm here. I'm his promoter, and whenever he wants to talk and with his people, like I'm here, we can sit down and figure it out. But
this abandonment was a hard blow for Garcia, and in the heat of the moment, he lashed out. He even threatened to fire De La Hoya, accusing the promoter of not being there when it mattered most. In return, De La Hoya didn't just accept Garcia's complaints and move on. He took legal action. The Golden Boy promoter filed a countersuit, demanding that Garcia honor his contractual obligations and stop threatening to leave. The conflict was messy, with both sides taking to the media to air their grievances. De La Hoya, as always, didn't shy away from being vocal about his issues with his star fighter, while Garcia grew more and more.
The beef that's going around with RyanGarcia and OscarDeLaHoya is just, they need a reality show. Discuss all your issues behind doors, man. But nonetheless, it's fun to watch RyanGarcia. He's calling out Bernard Hopkins. He's calling out Oscar.
Despite all of this, the situation didn't escalate to the point of an irreversible breakup, at least not yet. As of late, Garcia has said that his relationship with De La Hoya has improved. In a recent conversation with Patrick Bet David on his podcast, Garcia was asked about the current state of affairs between him and the legendary promoter. The fighter responded by saying that things were way better between them, a surprising statement, given the history of public disputes and bitterness. He said, "I don't do this, I don't do this. Let's figure it out. That's all it took. I don't do this, whatever this chaos is. I don't do that. We're going to come together. We're going to figure this out." I said, "I love you."
Doesn't. He's good, but it doesn't get to me.
It doesn't bother you?
No, it doesn't.
Even when he...
It is.
Way better.
Really?
Yeah.
What happened? What changed?
I said, I don't do this. I don't do this. Let's figure it out. That's all it took. I don't do this. Whatever this chaos is. And
this willingness to figure it out seems like a shift in tone from the angry, hurt feelings that dominated the earlier part of their relationship. But it's important to remember that just because Garcia says things are better now, it doesn't mean that all the underlying issues are resolved. In fact, this apparent reconciliation comes after a series of events that demonstrate just how fragile their relationship remains.
He used to be on your squad. RyanGarcia has issues with Oscar and Golden Boy. Did you see that coming? Like, did you know that eventually that he would?
Yeah. And I told him, you can ask him.
Yeah.
I told him, but at the end of the day, it's his decision, right?
Right.
It's his decision, but as my experience, I told him, hey, take it easy.
Take, for example, the situation that unfolded after Garcia's name was linked to a potential fight against Jose Ramirez. De La Hoya seemed to confirm that Garcia was set to face Ramirez, but Garcia quickly shot down the idea, taking to social media to make it clear that he had no intention of fighting Ramirez. The fact that Garcia wasn't aware of the plans being made on his behalf by De La Hoya only added fuel to the fire. In a pointed tweet, Garcia wrote, "RyanGarcia versus OscarDeLaHoya at this point," implying that his issues with the promoter had gone beyond simple disagreements.
I don't even like that dude. He's never told me that personally, but I just happen to know. He don't even like him. But at the end of the day, and it is what it is. You know, Ryan Garcia from that side, he's the one made the fight.
This wasn't the first time Garcia had openly questioned his relationship with De La Hoya, and it likely won't be the last. Garcia's frustration has been building for months, and this moment only made it clear that their partnership is far from smooth. Yet despite the public disputes, Garcia has hinted that there's still a possibility of working together in the future. When asked by Bet David if he could see himself working with De La Hoya in the next 5 years, Garcia's response was cautious and somewhat humorous. "What do they say in court? I plead the fifth?" Something like that, Garcia said, laughing, off the question. But his refusal to answer directly says a lot. He's clearly unsure about the future. Despite all the heat, one thing is clear. Garcia and De La Hoya's relationship is more than just a business arrangement. It's personal. The public nature of their disputes suggests that both of them feel deeply invested in the situation, and neither is willing to back down easily. While De La Hoya has been vocal about his frustrations with Garcia in the past, it seems that he's also aware that Garcia is a valuable asset to Golden Boy. If Garcia leaves, it would be a massive blow to the company, which is why De La Hoya has made efforts to smooth things over.
You know, watch your back. You know, it's gonna happen tonight.
Damn.
And right away I just panicked, like, oh shit, like I just got threatened. So I told Hopkins, you go take care of, you know, so he went to Ryan's locker room, and then all my executives were at Ryan's locker room afterwards, and they were even on stage with him after the fight. But the fact that I wasn't, you know, now I'm the bad guy, you know. I was just trying to get out of there, because when you get something like...
For Garcia, the situation is even more complicated. On one hand, he acknowledges the role that De La Hoya has played in his career, but on the other hand, he can't shake the feeling of betrayal. So, with the fight against Raleigh, Romero just days away, the tension between Garcia and De La Hoya is still very much alive. Interview 15. While Garcia has said that things are better between them, the reality is that their relationship remains fragile. The tension is thick, and it's impossible to ignore the underlying issues that continue to fester beneath the surface. Both Garcia and De La Hoya have a lot to gain from this fight, but it's clear that their partnership, if you can even call it that anymore, is far from stable.
Like all buddy-buddy with him, with Gervonta. You don't care about your fighters. Really tired of the fake act. Not the cat, be real for once, man. I can respect you more if you just told me the truth, that you're in it for the cash, no love lost. So I kind of see that angle, like,
yeah.
I mean, but he should know, like,
I can
Oscar's
see it. I can see it, but if Ryan Garcia was like 35 years old, then I'll be like, all right, I respect it.
Yeah.
He's a kid, man.
Despite the brewing tension between Ryan Garcia and his promoter OscarDeLaHoya, Garcia is fully focused on his upcoming fight with Rolando Raleigh Romero. The weight of his personal and professional struggles hasn't distracted the young fighter. He's keeping his eyes locked on what matters most: winning this fight. With everything on the line, Garcia knows that the fight against Raleigh could be a turning point for his career, especially after his loss to Gervonta Davis and the chaos surrounding his relationship with De La Hoya. Garcia's focus is razor-sharp, as he prepares for a dangerous opponent who has the power to end the fight in an instant. Romero is known for his explosive punching ability, and Garcia is well aware of the risk he presents. Even Tank said, "This dude has rocks in his hands." Garcia said about Romero's power, referencing Gervonta Davis's assessment of Raleigh's knockout ability. For Garcia, the threat is real. I feel like this dude is explosive.
Past you to fight Devin Haney. That doesn't concern you at all?
I think Devin should get the fight again.
But he said he's not even worried about you. He's not even thinking about you. He's looking forward to that fight. You're just going to be a bump in the road.
He can think whatever he wants. He knows me too well. So.
How easy is it going to be? How long will Rolly last with you in the ring?
2 seconds. Romero may not be the most skilled fighter in the division, but his raw power makes him a dangerous adversary. Garcia knows that if he allows Raleigh to land a clean shot, it could spell disaster. Tank says, Raleigh hits harder than you. Garcia's trainer, Joe Goosen, pointed out, yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I have the most high alert, Ryan responded. Garcia's awareness of Romero's power is evident, and it's clear he's not underestimating his opponent. In fact, Garcia has highlighted that while Raleigh might lack the finesse of fighters like Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez, he presents a greater risk due to his ability to finish a fight with a single punch. With the first 6 rounds expected to be crucial, Garcia needs to be patient and avoid the wild shots that Romero will undoubtedly throw. If Garcia can weather the early storm and hurt Romero with his own powerful left hook, he'll have the chance to finish the fight before it drags on too long. But if Raleigh remains in the fight past the 6th round, Garcia knows he'll be in for a war. Despite the external distractions, RyanGarcia's determination and focus on this fight showed just how committed he is to silencing his critics and proving himself in the ring.
Quick question, how's everybody doing? Haven't talked to you guys in a while. Hope that everybody's doing good.
Yeah, everyone's having a blessed day. Rolly, we coming.
Interview 18. Raleigh Romero is stepping into the spotlight with his head held high and full of confidence. No fear, no doubt. Whether people like his style or question his record, one thing is clear. Raleigh has always believed in himself. Now, ahead of a potential fight with RyanGarcia, his confidence is louder than ever. Raleigh isn't pretending. He genuinely believes he can beat Ryan. In interviews and on social media, he's made it clear that he doesn't see Garcia as a serious threat. To him, Ryan is all flash and no grit.
Rolly Romero, RyanGarcia would be an amazing fight, you know. Me and Ryan sparred way back when, you know. We sparred twice, and there's always, it's going to be, I mean, that fight will sell out. I know that fight will sell out. That's one of those mega fights that me and Ryan, that's a fight I'm definitely.
What makes Raleigh's confidence stand out isn't just the talk. It's how natural it is. He's not overthinking or second-guessing. Whether he's sparring in the gym or doing interviews, he carries himself like someone who's already won. Even after his loss to Isaac Cruz, he didn't flinch. He owned. It moved on and immediately started talking about what's next. That bounce-back energy? It's real. And it's powering his belief that Ryan won't last in the ring with him. Raleigh also knows how to play the mental game. He says what he wants, when he wants, and doesn't hold back. He's been trolling Ryan for months, cracking jokes, making memes, and throwing subtle shots at everything from his mental health breaks to his...
Could pass you to fight Devin Haney. That doesn't concern you at all?
I think Devin should get the fight again.
But he said he's not even worried about you. He's not even thinking about you. He's looking forward to that fight that you're just going to...
But there's more to it than just words. Raleigh trains like someone who's out to prove a point. He's focused, sharp, and confident in his power, proud of his awkward, unorthodox style. He believes that Garcia can't handle his pressure, and that once they start trading punches, Ryan's footwork and speed won't save him from what's coming. Raleigh sees himself as the stronger fighter, both mentally and physically, and that belief isn't fake. It's not built on what fans say or what critics write. It's built on how Raleigh sees himself.
Don't try too much. You know, Rolly's going to give you everything you want. So kind of just going to let the fight come to me, and then I'm going to take over. You know, I'm a better fighter all around. So I feel like.
And with RyanGarcia already showing public frustration toward De La Hoya, Rolly sees an opening. He's not just confident in beating Ryan. He's banking on the chaos around him. The cracks between the fighter and promoter are visible, and Rolly's the type to take advantage. If Ryan steps into the ring still distracted by what's happening outside of it, still unsure about who's really calling the shots in his corner, Rolly won't hesitate. He'll treat that doubt like blood in the water. To him, a divided Ryan is already halfway beaten.